This is a second video that's demonstrating how to draw out a plan oblique from a floor plan. And so I picked up right where we left off from the last video. And I'm seeing now that I'm missing a line edge right here. Okay. We're going to add some of the other elements that are showing up in this. Some of the stuff that I pulled up and away from the floor plan for now, we're going to put it back in. So let's start off with the kitchen. Okay. Now the kitchen, what we had going on in the kitchen here, let's go back to this plan here that's just showing it in a two-dimensional format, is we have some countertops. And countertops are generally 2 feet tall. And remember, everything that's representing height in this plan over here needs to be divided in half so that we draw it correctly over here. So anything that would be 2 feet tall here, we'd use a line that's 1 foot long here to represent that. The refrigerator would go to 5.5 feet tall, and the cutting plane line is at 4 feet, so we'd actually slice through the refrigerator, and we can kind of represent that if we want to by showing the inside of the freezer, for instance. And then we wouldn't be able to see any of the wall cabinets because they would be above our cutting plane line. So let's start with that. Let's make those 2 foot countertops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these edges, the front face of the countertops, and I'm going to put them in the correct location based on this edge down here. So I'm going to put in here a line temporarily as a construction line. Let's just use that title block line for now. I'm going to put in where we would see the lower corner of the wall if we were on the inside. That's kind of being hidden by the exterior wall right now, which is why we can't see it. Try to get that tracking line. There we go. So that line, the orange line that I just added, is representing where the bottom edge of the floor is on the inside of the wall. If I take these lines here and copy them so that they are placed so that this corner here is at the corner of where those cabinets are. What I'm doing essentially is drawing on the floor a footprint of where the countertops are going to be. So let's put these on do we have a case layer? There we go. So we'll put all this stuff on the case layer. Short for casework. So hopefully you understand that what I'm trying to do here is show you where, if we were to draw with chalk on the floor and draw where the cabinet floor area was going to take up, that's what we're doing here. So this is representing the bottom edge of the cabinets. Now what I want to do is draw the height of them, so we're going to end up generating up here a second edge to the cabinets. So I'm just going to copy the same lines that I have before and click on the corner of the line and add a same 45-degree angle we've been using so far, put in a distance of 1 foot. So now this edge here is representing the top edge of the cabinet, so I need to add another wall there, a line there rather, and I need to add a line here. So this line here should be the same as the others that I've got going. So this should be on the case layer. Now I'm going to add all of the lines that are the edges of the cabinet. So what I want to do is draw lines that connect the dots. I want to connect to these two corners. This corner here we're not actually going to be able to see, and that corner we're not going to be able to see. So we're going to get rid of this line. Get rid of this line, and we're going to get rid of this line here. And then we would also not be able to see the rest of that floor line because the cabinet's going to be blocking it. So see, what we started off with was the footprint of where the bottom edge of the cabinets would be. Well, that would shift up, and at a 45-degree angle from that point, the distance or the height that we want the cabinets to be, and then we're going to see the same exact footprint but 2 feet up from that position. So now we're looking at the top edge of the cabinets, and we could go ahead and add a stove detail to that, and a sink detail, and so on. So that's just to give you an example of how to do that. So let's add some stairs, and we're going to go in the opposite direction. So here we started off with a footprint. So let's just, we started off with any kind of footprint. So if we start with a rectangle, for instance, we want to draw a table. Let's do the tables at 5 feet, 3 feet. And I want that table to look like it's three-dimensional, so I'm going to copy the top edge of the table down. Let's go 1 inch. That's the top of the table, and then the leg of the table is another 1.5 inches, 1.5 feet. That's a little bit much, so we'll go down 1 foot. There we go. So we'll make the width of the table 4 inches. The table leg, rather, is 4 inches by 4 inches by 4 inches. So it's square, and we'd see 2 other edges of that table leg here and here, and then we wouldn't really be able to see this edge or this edge. So there's our table leg. Now if I copy that table leg to each one of the corners, so we'll see it in this corner, and we're also going to see the same table leg in that corner. We're just not going to be able to see that much of it. We're going to get that in the right spot. There we go. And we will also see this edge and this edge, but we would not be able to see this edge back here. So I'm going to use these 2 corners as trimming edges and get rid of that inside rectangle that we had. Now I'm just going to copy this table leg, the same location here, and this portion of the leg disappears, and there's our table. Okay, so you got to kind of represent, or not represent, but you have to know where you are in the plane, whether you're on the floor or up here at the tabletop. We started off on the floor and had to move up. In this example, I started with the tabletop and had to move down. With stairs, this is our floor area here, and if I move the stairs back or find out where the first step goes down and copy that to our planoblique floor plan, that shows you where our first step is, that we step down into the lower level. And I also want to copy these 2 corners here from the same point. So I'm going to use the same reference point right there at the corner of the door. And that gives us in the floor where the opening is for the stairs. So that's representing our opening for the stairs. So we're going to draw a line down like this because we're going to go down the stairs that way. And we're going to have another line here going down at a 45-degree angle as well. We're not sure where that's going to stop, so we'll just kind of do something like that for now. Actually, we'll just leave that open for now. Now, if we take a set of stairs and we draw them, we assume that the stairs are 10 inches deep. And 7 inches tall, and 10 inches, and 7, and 10, etc. We're going to be doing, or demonstrating, the thickness of the tread should be the same thickness we're seeing here, or the width we're seeing here of 10 inches, but when we draw the riser, it should be half of whatever we're using. So it should be approximately 3.5 inches. So I'm going to start with this line here, and here we're at the floor, we want to step down 7 inches, or divide that by 2, we want to step down 3 inches, which is going to look like 7 inches. So I want to start a line 3.5 inches from that reference point and create a line there. Now that's the back edge of the tread. So that point right there is this point right here that we're at. Now I want to go forward from this line 10 inches because we can see the full width of the steps in plan. It's the depth that gets changed. to half of whatever it is. So we can trim this line so we don't see any more of that line going down. Now from this corner here I want to go back down again, 3.5, and then across, and then from that corner, now we're at the top of the next tread, we want to go across 10 inches and then down to this line, because beyond this we can't see the rest of that tread. So we can really get rid of this construction line now, and I'm going to keep repeating that until I don't have any more room to do it anymore. So I'm going to go 3.5 over to here, and now horizontal line out 10 inches and across to this edge. And we're going to do another line going down 3.5 and then across. And I think we're at the, let's see how many steps we have. 1, 2, 3, 4 treads and then the landing. So we have one more of these steps to do. So from here we're going to go out 10 inches again and then across. Go down from this line at a 45-degree angle 3.5. Go across, and now we're at the landing. So this line should go all the way to where we can't see it anymore and it disappears behind the wall to our landing. The floor thickness is usually only about a foot thick, so we're going to get rid of this line and draw another line from that corner down 6 inches and then come across. And this line here should we should be representing the tread here as the same width that we have it set up for the stairs. So I should be able to take these lines here and offset them 3 feet. And that shows me where the other edge of the stairs from the other side that we would be able to see. So this gives me the point at which we want to start the stairs going down in this direction. And in this direction we're still going at a 45-degree angle, but I'm going from this corner now down at that angle. Notice it's parallel to this line right here with the stairs, the window. So I want to go down at this angle, 45-degree angle, 3.5, and go across. Now that's the edge, the back edge of the first tread from the landing. Want to draw a line from this corner out 10 inches and then go across. And it looks like I have a little bit more room to draw another one. Go down 3.5 and across and then out 10 inches and then down until I intersect that edge. So we are now representing the stairs going from the floor plate here, going down behind the wall here and down into the basement. Now usually around a set of stairs there's some kind of guardrail. So I'm going to add a guardrail. Guardrail is usually 3 feet, so I'm going to go up 1.5 inches, feet rather. Go across 1.5 feet. Make sure we hit the right intersection there. And so that's representing the outside edge of the guardrail, and if this has like a 2-inch thickness, you could obviously put posts in there, or if we want to make this a wall with a cap or just a regular wall that's a half-height wall, we could draw a line across from here 4 inches and let's just have that go to here. Just offset that line 4 inches and trim. So we're drawing the upper edge of the wall here and then just connecting the dots. So now I wouldn't be able to see this edge. I wouldn't really be able to see anything beyond that edge going down into the basement. That gets trimmed to there. And I wouldn't be able to see that edge. I wouldn't be able to see these treads or the rest of these treads here. And it looks like I'm missing an edge here, aren't I? So 1.5 feet and across to there, and then we actually wouldn't be able to see these edges either. So now I've built a little wall that's protecting us from falling down those stairs, a little half-height wall. All right, so hopefully that gives you an idea of how to move either in the towards yourself or away from yourself in this floor plan. Let's just do one more. We'll do the bathtub. I'm going to take the existing bathtub symbol that I have and move it from here to here, so it's being represented at the bottom edge or the floor, so that's showing us the floor. Bathtubs are usually only about 12 inches tall, so I'm going to go up from here 6 inches. Whoops. Go across, draw a line across from here, and then across in the back. And then I'm just going to move that bathtub symbol up so it's at the top. And then we'll see an edge down here. Now if we just explode that symbol, and I'm going to trim it so we can't see the rest of it that's going behind the wall. And I'm also going to trim the floor line. And then you end up with a pretty accurate bathtub symbol with the actual height of the bathtub. Now if you wanted to add a little bit of depth to the bathtub, we could copy this symbol down. Let's go about 4 inches, and then just draw a line from here to here and trim away this portion of the bathtub edge. Now it looks like we actually have the bathtub depth shown in here too as well. So play around with this. What I'd like you to do is get to the point where you have the floor plan represented with all the openings in the doors. You can also show the doors with the door pattern and the height of the door sliced at this height. Show all built-in fixtures. So this would be countertops, any plumbing fixtures that are built in, stairs, walls. And the next step would be to go ahead and put in some furniture to show what's going on in these spaces. Draw a bed, drawing a bed, drawing a cabinet, or anything else that you want to put in, chest of drawers, things like that. And the more detail you add, the more interesting the floor plan layout. And once we add some shadows and color and shading, it really starts to look great.